Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
Hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Yeah.
Podcast.
That's right, baby. Fire 'em on up, man. How y'all doing here today? Got a couple comments and some emails from earlier our conversation. You buying this Uber driver who keeps coming home with women's panties in his car. Well, it doesn't keep. It's not fair. It's twice in 4 months.
That's a lot, though.
4.5 months.
That's a lot.
He'd probably stress. But is that a sign of any kind of like cheating? Only had one story where somebody said, yeah, I was out on St. Patty's Day with a girl who was bragging that she left her panties in the Uber. So it does happen. Just maybe not that often. Maybe this guy's just so lucky if he is innocent.
It also depends on, were we hearing from daytime Uber drivers and nighttime? Because there is a major difference in behavior.
The ones we heard on the phones, I don't know. He was in nighttime, weekend night.
Because you do see some shit on the weekend at nighttime, especially if you're doing Miami and Lauderdale.
He's right.
Bob had the suggestion to install a dash cam that also records inside the car. Tell him to protect her investment of the car.
Good idea. I'm starting to think everybody should have that in their car. I think all of our cars get fucked with, and we have no idea about it.
Maybe.
I do.
Yeah. You ever come to your car and there's something weird going on? Like, what happened?
Yes.
Right.
Bird has that happen all the time.
You'd like to know.
And I've been locking my doors lately.
Yeah. You'd like to know what the heck is going on. Got this email from Jason. Said, you guys gave me a great idea. I'm going to purposely leave women's panties in my car. When my wife finds them, hopefully, she'll want to smell my dick and I can finally get some action.
That's brilliant. Can I smell your dick?
Says, isn't it strange that the amount of sex decreases the longer a marriage lasts? Sometimes I get why Jaybird wants to die alone.
Oh, man.
Wait, what is that stat? Could you say that again? That kind of confused me. The longer you have sex?
No, I think the longer you're married, the less sex you have is what he just said.
Got ya.
Add a kid to that, and the kids are the biggest cock blockers in the game.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
They
It's like they
really
don't want any
are.
more brothers and sisters, so they do what they can to stand in the way.
Yes, that's true.
It's tough.
But
tough.
there are parents out there that do get their fuck on. I know plenty of people that have 4 or 5 kids and they have a very healthy sex life. It can happen.
It can. It's tricky, though.
I think both partners have to be horny as shit. I think they both got to be sexual beings, because I think if you're a sexual being, you make it more of a priority.
Okay. Maybe.
I don't know.
Got this email from Alyssa to explain the Aero Club in Wellington. I told you how I was just driving out there in the dark a couple weeks ago and looking for some party that was going on. And then, boom, all of a sudden there's some freaking, just a runway out in the middle of nowhere, like an airport runway. And it was big. It wasn't like a small rinky-dink little thing. It was, well lit. I'm like, where the hell am I?
It seemed like you shouldn't be driving on it.
Yeah. I mean, I was, right across the street from where I was. And it was, pitch black. I'm like, what? Where is it? Where am I? And it's Aero Club. She said, my parents live in Aero Club where there's a runway in people's backyards.
Wow, that's fancy.
There's even classism within the neighborhood of old money versus new money, and then people who live near the runway versus those who live on the outer part of the neighborhood. They drive around on golf carts drinking wine. It's another world. It is another world. That's the thing that's so fascinating about Wellington, is just how it really was. And, hey, I know, no shocker here. You live in South Florida. There's a lot of, wealthy, interesting, but Wellington's just its own. Mainly the horse people in Wellington. Wellington proper is, okay, it's just like Palm Beach Gardens to me. Pretty much looks the same.
Right.
The people are the same. But
the money in the horse upper echelon.
And they're going to be gone in a couple weeks. So, yeah, the people that will only be here for a couple more weeks, even then, and, those are the ones. It's fascinating.
It is.
Yeah, and then a lot of them, they just go to like Virginia and hang out for the summer and ride horses there. Some of them go to Europe and ride their horses there.
Is that typically when the service season ends? The end of May, probably?
Yeah, you're pretty much winding down. I think Easter a lot of times is right towards the tail end. I think this might be the last weekend for polo.
I think you're right. Yeah, it always ends around this time.
Yeah, so I think this is the final weekend this Sunday, and then after that, everybody bails. Like I said, a lot, I think, go to Virginia, which actually it sounds real peaceful. I've never, I've been to Virginia, but my daughter, we went to brunch on Sunday with one of her friends from college, and her mom was there, and they live near Richmond.
Okay.
And they were describing, it sounds awesome, a lot of like little rivers around in there, and she was saying, that there are some people that they just pretty much have a boat and they go around. There's all these waterside restaurants you can go to.
That sounds fun.
I know. I'm like, it sounds really awesome. I'm like, dang, it's pretty cool, that whole area up there. Sounds like a good little spot to go when it's not freezing cold. So,
and rivers are a lot easier to navigate than the intercoastal and the ocean. I mean, that to me, I get a little stressed out when I know I have to drive the boat on the ocean or in the intercoastal or coming out of one of those busy inlets.
Yeah,
it gives me a little anxiety.
There's a different vibe. If you've ever done both, before I lived here, when I was in Kansas City, we go to the Lake of the Ozarks. In fact, they've got a really cool show on Netflix that has Jason Bateman in it, and it's called Ozark.
Yes, you told me about that.
Yeah, and it's on the lake, and it does a good job of kind of talking about, because there's an added excitement on the Lake of the Ozarks and stuff like that. It's got just a continual party vibe. Like here, you got fishing, all that kind of stuff, but it was just like everybody was so ginned up because, it's like the clock's ticking, so every weekend's important. Because you've got 3 months to get it all in.
That's it. That's all you have.
Right. And so just like boating, and where I was from in Ohio, we would go boating on the Ohio River and stuff like that, and you do tubing and all that. There was a lot more excitement. I think down here, probably a big part of it, you take it for granted.
That's true.
And you're right.
Definitely.
I think it's a little bit more recreational there, because here it's a little bit more treacherous.
Yeah.
I really liked that Ozark series. I thought that was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I can't wait for that to come back. So there'll definitely be another season on it. That was cool to check out. They have something right now they're doing in the state of Florida, which is kind of interesting because, the thing that I love, we went to Banana Boat in Boynton. Great place. I haven't been there. We went there last time for a boat tour that we had done, but we actually ate on the back deck. That's where we did the brunch, right by the bridge. That bridge is beautiful, and there's a lot of water traffic, people on jet skis and stuff like that. So,
fun.
It was cool. It was
Activity.
Gorgeous. Yeah. But, it just kind of reminded me that these places are few and far between, sadly, in South Florida. And they're talking about now doing a new law that could limit your access to Florida beaches, because there are homeowners that, have oceanfront property. And their complaint is you got people walking on the beaches, but they don't respect the sand line, and they come up and someone will be looking in our windows, and we come out and they're sitting in our lawn furniture. One family talked about how we're always having to kick people out of our pool, thinking this isn't all access.
Oh, that's terrible.
And so it would be almost like a stand your ground kind of thing, where it's we own until where the tide is, whatever that might be. And so you would own to the water. So, hey, you're trespassing on my beach. That's my sand that you're on.
Now, I don't agree with the sand part, but if anybody comes in your yard, that is stand my ground.
Yeah.
The sand should be for everyone. You can't, even if you have a fancy house on the ocean, your yard is yours. The sand and the beach is for everyone.
Yeah. So it's kind of a big debate that's going on, that they're now starting to fight. The bill that is being talked about mandates that property owners control the land above the mean high tide level. And then other beach.
Mean high tide?
I don't even know what that means. Yeah.
It means when the water rises to about 8. No, I have no idea.
High tide would be kind of up higher on the beach, I would think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they say it's kind of an ongoing debate from, beach town to beach town in Florida. They say it'd be confusing to tourists, and it changes the way some beach communities control who has access to their beaches. I know on Palm Beach, you just can't go strolling down Palm Beach as far as you want, right? Because those are private beaches. If somebody owns, because you even see if you drive there on Palm Beach, you've got that tunnel underneath the road, and then they've got the the oceanside cabanas that are there. And I thought those are like private beaches. You can't go on those.
There's a lot of blocking. There is some blocking, but you can go pretty far deep down there. We just rode down there the other day, and you can see a lot of fancy ass houses out there. It's not too bad.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're allowed to stroll the coast. If you're just
Yeah.
right along the where the water's rolling in, where the water meets the sand, can you just walk for miles?
Yeah, my question, let's say where the park is there on Palm Beach. If you go and they have the public beach on Palm Beach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where
and
you
you
drive.
walk up like you're walking towards Charlie Crab.
Yeah, so let's say
Rest in peace, Charlie's Crab.
Yeah, so let's say that I'm on that public beach there on Palm Beach, and I want to walk 2 miles north.
Can you?
On the beach, can I?
I think you can until you reach, there's some private clubs.
Let's try it out. Let's get a couple beers.
And there might even be signs that say private beach, but can you enforce that? That nobody can walk along the water line?
This sounds like a job for Bird and Vicious V.
I'm down.
The reason why I wonder, because if they're talking about Florida law here and trespassing, we get that freaking stand your ground. So imagine you're just taking a stroll on the beach with your lovey, and next thing you know, somebody's firing off shots at you, and she takes one to the chest.
It's the risk of a beautiful view.
You're right.
No, this is not right. They should not be able to do this. The sand should be for everybody, guys.
That's what I would think. To me, I don't think you should
I
have
hope
like
this
anyone.
doesn't get pushed through because people with deep pockets sometimes get things pushed through that shouldn't be pushed through.
Well, and the argument from the rich ass people is they're saying, well, it's okay. So what are we going to do? We're going to build a wall that totally defeats the point of living on the ocean. But then what happens is people are always just coming right up into our backyard.
That's what happens when you live on the beach.
They don't like that. They're
They
we're
can't
rich
come
as hell and we're famous.
They can't come in your yard, but the sand should be for everybody.
What if you're Tiger Woods?
Well, they already shut us down from trying to get on his beach.
I think he's got private security that shut that show down.
He
if you try
does.
to-
They told us that they do.
Yeah, yes, I've heard that somebody said there were sensors in the water that if you try to a boat up and jump onto the back into the beach, you can't go on the sand that is out there up to Tiger's house. So that's obviously you can. So I'd imagine a lot of Palm Beach is the same because those people have the same kind of money.
Maybe Palm Beach, maybe Jupiter Island. Maybe they have some different laws that we're not familiar with.
Well, but then you keep having this where other places, it's more and more people with money are coming and they want on the ocean. And so what it means is more and more people are gobbling up and owning the beach. And there's less and less places for the common folk to go and hang out and put your toes in the sand.
I think if you buy a place on the ocean, you need to know that the beach is for everybody and not your yard, certainly not your pool. Put up some kind of something to keep people from coming into your yard, but the sand should be for the people.
I guess the question is, what do you put up? Because their argument would be, I'm chilling in the back of my house. I want to be able to look with unobstructed views to the ocean. That's why I'm paying the gazillions of dollars I am to live here, is for that. And I don't want to look out and see 10 people walking out through the back. It ruins my experience.
Well, I hear you, rich
Yeah.
guy, but the sand is for everyone.
I think, the sand's for everybody.
Shut the hell up.
Yeah, but that's the problem, is it's not for everyone in Florida, and a lot of rich people have already staked their claim and own it. You cannot go dabble and dance on Tiger Beach. You will
that's
be
not fair.
arrested. Yeah. So they're saying that's kind of the story about it, is that there may be less available if this law passes. Like the Surfrider Foundation, a beach advocacy group, they are opposed to the bill, and they say they will do all they can to fight
Yeah,
it in court.
I stand with Surfrider because they truly care about the people. They care about the oceans. They care about the environment. If they're saying that it's a bad bill, I agree with them.
Mm-hmm. Question is, who will have more money to fight it in court?
That's a
the
great
rich people
question.
or Surfrider?
Yep. That's what it's going to be all down to. You know it is.
Yeah. Governor Scott says that tourists and locals will not be denied access to the beach, but the new law does set boundaries.
Uh-huh. There you go. Rick Scott, who looks like a penis, is siding with the rich people.
Yeah. So there you go. Expect less access to beaches in Florida coming up. Nikki sent an email. Maybe we need to go to Mexico. She said, you were talking about the underwater caves there. We've been in them a couple of times on cruise ship excursions. There's one that's the center of a whole aquatic park. You jump in the freezing cold water with nothing but a life vest, no underwear, and you float through the underwater caves. At the end, there's an awesome lagoon where you can snorkel and do other water recreational activities. It's called X-Carré.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Underwater caves? Yeah.
That kind of sounds kind of creepy, though.
As long as there's some light coming in, which a lot of them do. They have like crevices and light comes in and you can see stuff. I don't want to be in the darkness.
Oh.
But an underwater cave with a little bit of light coming in. They have a bunch of those in the Bahamas where you have to like dive under to get into it.
Okay.
But then once you're in it, there's light coming in. You can see all the fish and it's awesome.
Yeah.
But as long as there's light, you don't want to be in the dark ones.
Hell no.
Yeah, this looks really nice. It's in Cancun. That's where they do it, but it looks like they've got ruins. You got to wonder if those are real or are they man-made ruins. Come enjoy our man-made ruins.
Look, we made these replica.
Built 4 years ago.
Yeah, they look really good for ruins. I mean, they're holding up well in this weather.
I gotta wonder if there really are man-made ruins that are recent. Like, is anybody replicated in there? Like, going, no, those have been there for thousands of years.
I would not be surprised if the cruise ships did that.
Right.
They totally do that. Of course.
And you're going, yeah, look at these. I'm like, they look like legit ancient ruins. But
From 5 years ago.
This ancient is built in 1987.
I'm pretty cynical these days.
Well, it's because everything on the internet, you just don't know what's real or fake. I mean, that's a legit question. Kevin could be blowing cocaine off of a hooker's ass, or snorting it, I should say, and we could believe it. We don't know if it's fake or real. And that video is about to drop tomorrow.
It is, and it's a male stripper, just so everybody knows, and
Yes.
it is hot.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We're at that place in time right now where shit like that can ruin a person's life. It's crazy.
Yes, and I'm not snorting it off their ass. I'm snorting it out of their ass.
Okay, you're going deep.
Yes.
All right.
In fact, for added push, they farted into my nose. It really goes deep into your nasal passages that way.
I've never seen the movie, but isn't there something in Wolf of Wall Street where somebody puts cocaine in their ass?
Was it in their ass? Denny's?
You would get high if you did that because it would go into your bloodstream, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's kids I think were getting really sick and possibly even dying by doing the alcohol in the butthole. So I can only imagine cane in the butthole.
I know somebody who saw the
Butt
movie.
chug's what they call that.
I know somebody who saw the movie and then told their friend, "Oh yeah, I did that," and their friend did it because they said they did it.
Oh my gosh.
Cocaine in the butt, Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, I think that sounds familiar. That was a great movie.
Do it in the butt.
Cocaine in the butt. Wolf.
The things we've Googled for this show.
I've Googled. Y'all's computers are clean as a whistle.
Me and Kevin are wiped clean.
Yeah.
Jaybird has the filthiest laptop ever recorded.
Yeah, there is. It looks like there is some cocaine in butt play.
Okay.
All right.
I hope everybody feels better about that.
I do.
Questions we need the answer to. Got this email from Rainey talking about some songs for karaoke.
Woohoo!
Just wanted to let you know, Plush by Stone Temple Pilots was a good karaoke song. My boyfriend and our best buddy are karaoke kings and our digs in the pizzle. And top two songs are Plush and Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi.
Okay.
I love Plush. I do not like Dead or Alive, but I'm not a Jovi head.
I used to, a buddy of mine, we used to always do the one at Dead or Alive.
Want it,
And the fun part is going,
want it, dead or alive.
yeah. The only problem with that song is there's a lot of interluding, like guitar work.
Yeah, but that's when you do the interpretive dance. That's when you
That's
dance.
when Kevin rips out the air guitar like he did last time
That's
and
when I'm having a
kills
mock
it.
heart attack.
He kills
I'm like,
it.
oh, guys, end it. And I'm like, oh.
If there's any instrumentals, me and Denny's promise to fill it in with some interpretive dance to make it not awkward.
Okay. Yes. That'd be a good idea. Then maybe we'll have to do Wanted Dead or Alive.
Let's
You
put it
guys
on the
love
list.
it.
I'm not scared of
put
it.
it on for Friday, and you guys, while that happens, yeah.
Give me, do the lead real quick, and me and Virginia will do the backup.
I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride, and I'm a wanted, dead or alive. I'm wanted, dead or alive.
It's just so fun.
Yeah.
You don't even have to be good. It's just fun.
All right, I'm in the mood, man.
Yeah,
Let's
me
get this
too.
thing going.
Yeah, you're gonna try mixing it up this week, doing some new tunes. Is that your goal?
Yeah.
Nude tunes.
Nude tunes.
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Take out that D and sing away.
I got a couple goals, yeah. I think maybe one, I will go with Wanted Dead or Alive. Try that out with you guys doing the interpretive dance. And then two, I plan on not pulling a chest muscle and having a mock heart attack this week. It's kind of my goal. Yeah, I hurt myself last time we did. It was so bizarre.
We both have been on the injured reserve. the
Well-
only one that hasn't committed to an injury is Virginia.
Yeah.
I so hurt myself when you guys were lined up. Okay, it was Kevin in the front, Jaybird in the middle. Imagine that, right where he likes to be. Denny's on the end, and the three of you were in a line like this, and your legs were spread open. And I got underneath your legs, and I
Yeah.
crawled like a cheetah.
Oh, I remember
in
that.
between your legs,
Yeah.
and I banged the shit out of my knee
Yeah.
on
All right.
the speaker stand, and it's
Oh,
still
yeah.
clicking.
Okay, then the only fucker that hasn't hurt himself is Denny's. Then.
Denny's, where are your balls at?
Yeah, where are your balls?
Better bring them on Friday. He's not listening.
Yeah. Is anybody?
Nope. Just check. Just us.
We're just here to make each other laugh, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm having a great time.
Me too. I am having a great time.
What are you drinking over there?
Ginger ale, and it went down my throat hard. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
you can take a hard swallow of carbonated beverage sometimes. And gosh, there's something about that. Yeah, well, I was talking about it in my chest. Like I pulled a muscle. But if you do something in this area, I don't know why, you can't breathe.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
it feels like you're having a heart attack.
Oh my God, it's horrifying. I really, for about 10 seconds, I almost started making a dramatic move. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. I was panicked.
Think
It feels
about
like
it.
a Charlie horse in your chest muscle.
It is. And you
Yeah.
don't know like what's going on. You're just like, this is bad because like I can't breathe and I can't swallow.
Yes.
And you're like, okay. Like,
Well, it's in the middle
it
of-
freaks you out. I start panicking.
It's in the middle of your whole body, so
Yeah.
like your head's going to be sort of affected. Your downstate, everything's fucked
Yeah.
when your chest is
Well,
messed up.
nobody knew you were having it. You just gave the best performance ever.
Oh my gosh.
You
yeah.
left it all on the floor,
Yeah.
including your heart.
Like you guys just kept going. I'm like, please. And I'm like, end it.
We're like, wow, he's so emotional. He's so like, the pain's on his face. He's feeling this music riff.
I was so close to immediately start freaking out. Like guys, I was just starting to start shaking. You guys would be like, what the
What?
hell? And I couldn't speak. Like I wouldn't.
we thought you were we would have thought you were acting.
I don't even know what I would have done.
I'm just letting you know your pain movements look a lot like, hey, Bird, why don't you get on air guitar with me and go back to back? Because that's what it looked
I was
like.
trying to communicate to him to end the song. And he just leaned up against my back so he couldn't see me. I'm trying to like lean over.
I had to rip a kick-ass air solo.
Which you did.
Thank you.
You know what else is weird and traumatized? You talk about like that kind of thing. Have you guys ever had like you eat something hot? A lot of times it might be a gravy or a soup or something like that. And it gets, I don't know what it is. It gets like into your throat or the top part of your chest. Like it's too hot for that area.
Yes.
And I have gotten to the point where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to pass out. Like you get lightheaded. I've had that, and you feel same thing. Like your chest tightens up, you can't breathe, and I'm like, I'm gonna pass out. I've had that happen a couple times where I just, whatever it was so good.
You went too fast because you
Yeah.
wanted it in your belly.
I think it was like a mashed potatoes and gravy, and it was hot, and I went real quick for it, and it hit the back of my throat. I started to swallow it, and so you can't get it back up.
Well, you also could burn your innards, too.
Yes, it was. It was like burning my esophagus or whatever, and your body does not react favorably to that.
Have you ever done this? Woken up in the middle of the night and you are trying to move your arm and someone's cut off your arm. You're like, what the fuck happened to my arm? You just laid on it. You fell asleep on it and you can't move it. I thought somebody cut off my arm about 2 months ago. I was like, I was moving it around, but I couldn't feel it. It felt like someone totally axed it off. That is a horrifying feeling.
that is.
Let me see here. Got this email from James and Stewart. Said, listen to the ATS podcast today after work, as I do every single day, and I noticed two things. One, holy shit, Jaybird has a lisp. And 2, holy shit, Kevin whistles every time he says a word with an S in it.
I do have a lisp. I do.
Aww.
And now that you brought it up, it's going to really come out because that's what happens with my lisp.
Yeah. And me with the S, there it goes. Yeah. And I think part of it, I think I did it to myself because I remember I used to do that prank call, Virginia, and one of my voices was the old guy.
Yes.
I remember one of the calls I called somebody who was the West Coast Classifieds, and somebody had Silkies.
The chickens.
Yeah, they had chickens called Silkies. And
I can hear it.
yeah, and so
It's fun.
Yeah, so I always did this voice. There's this old guy who whistled when he spoke, and so I would practice that, and I did that voice so many times that I think that part of it stuck.
Bring that voice back. That's a good voice.
Yeah.
Silkish.
He's old and weak.
Oh, I can hear the S.
It's so fun.
Say which, yeah, it was Silkies. And it was like, because nobody could be mean to him because he sounded like he was just about ready to die on the other end of the phone. But he's calling you at 3 a.m. You're like going, yeah, look, old fuck. Like, I don't want to talk about chickens right now.
Old fuck.
Gosh, I miss that bit. That was a lot of fun. I love doing that.
That was fun.
And people don't pick up their damn phones anymore.
Nobody has a house phone.
Yeah, that was it. That's why we really can't do it. Yeah, and it was so frustrating because we record those ahead of time because if we did them live on the air, we'd be sitting here for about 45 minutes with nothing going on.
If we
right.
could get cell phone numbers, that would be awesome because people will pick up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and some people still do. But the thing was, even some people put up on their cell phone numbers, even on the West Coast Classifieds, because for whatever reason. And even then, though, still like so many people weren't, and it was like. We go like 30, 35 minutes in between getting somebody. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
You got to pre-record that bit.
Well, we had it a couple times. Yeah, I remember it was like a couple hours, and I'm like, we've got nothing. And then you're like looking, oh crap, we got a show tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
No material.
No material, and we just wasted 2 hours. Yeah. Let me see. He said, yeah, like the old man from Family Guy. That's it. Never noticed it before, and no, I can't unhear it. Still love you guys, and Jason, you and your lisp, go fuck yourselves.
Aw.
I used to have to go to speech class, and I remember the speech teacher scared the shit out of me. And I told my mom, I can't go back there. She reminded me of a werewolf. And I said, I can't do it because she would kind of like when she would talk to me, she would talk, Jason, you want to say, go fish. And she would make her mouth go really big like a werewolf, and it would scare me. So I'm like, wow, I can't fucking do it.
How is that going to help kids talk better if this woman's horrifying?
I don't
She
know.
probably didn't realize it. I mean, I don't think she's probably setting on being, hey, I want to scare the crap out of this
Probably
kid.
not, but she did scare the shit out of me.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thanks for bringing that up.
And your mom wasn't freaked out by her? I'd have been like,
she was. That's
we're
why,
done
that's,
here.
That's why they ended up taking me out of it.
Good.
That's why I have a lisp. I never finished.
Couple emails, one from Kat D, talking a little bit about there's a local area charter school, Eagle Arts, that is on the brink of a shutdown, leaving many unemployed due to greedy owners, misuse of government funds and donations.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I know KVJ isn't political, but you need to call these jerks out. Public personas such as yourselves could assist. Horrible situation for local teachers and students being used as pawns to support one man's greediness. I read the article a little bit. It did talk about, yes, he'd whether it was illegal or whatever, I don't know, but it sounded like I made at least some bad choices with some money, and now don't even know if the schools were going to be able to stay open through the end of the year. It's going to basically take teachers saying, yeah, okay, just because I care about the kids, I'll show up. But, yeah, like not even necessarily getting paid, So that's just tough, as it is. So my roommate is devastated. She might be weeks away from not having a job, and they've already withheld pay from their employees, including her.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So that's real tough stuff. I feel for everybody going through that.
They should do like a benefit and try to raise the money that it would take just to finish out the school year. We've only got like a month and a half.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Maybe something like that could happen. And, we talk about these rich fuckers with their oceanfront, views. It's nice when some of them, and they can do it. They could step
Absolutely.
up. And,
they could step up and save this school year.
Yeah. So.
Could you imagine all those kids have to start a new school in April?
Yeah. So just, if you can, like, hopefully they can come up with the funds to at least finish out the year and then figure out what's going to happen from then on out. Let me see. And just want to remind people, too, we got KVJ Cares. It is on our website at kvjshow.com. If you got like your own personal GoFundMe, and hey, we all struggle and we have times like that, you can go on there if you do ever have any extra money. And if what you would like to do, instead of putting another 50 feet on your boat, which is already too damn big, you could maybe take it and go give it to somebody that needs it, because there's some people that have just way too much money and some people that are just really struggling just for the bare necessities, or they've had something in life that just came up. One of our KVJ Nationers, Nancy, she lost her brother Victor on April 1st. He lost his battle to addiction, and her family's doing their best to pick up the pieces. Got memorial services and stuff like that they don't have the money for, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, so that's one that we got posted up there. There's another one that I know is looking for sleeping bags for veterans that are homeless that they want to provide for. So there's a lot of really good causes up there. It's KVJ Cares. If you go to kvjshow.com, you'll see that. And if one moves you and tugs at your heartstrings and you got the cash to do it, it'd be really cool if you could do it. All righty. That is going to do it for us here today. For your Wednesday, just to let you know, talking on the angle of the KVJ Cares, KVJ Volunteer Army, we are now completely full for the home build that we're going to be doing coming up on Saturday. So thanks to everybody who has signed up for that. We filled all the slots. Very cool. But we are hoping to do a new project pretty much every single month. In fact, it's been about a month since we did the beach cleanup, so that's kind of our goal with the KVJ Volunteer Army, is that once a month we'll have a different project in different parts of South Florida. So if you maybe even have something you can make us aware of, we do them a lot of times with already based organizations because of insurance and things like that, but you never know. I mean, we could, look at several different projects and come out and help people in the community. So,
absolutely.
yeah, if you've got a place that might need some help, let us know. We'll try to get the volunteers together. And for people who want to come out, honestly, it's one of the most rewarding things. I'm happy of all the things that we've done. Every single time we do it, I feel so good. So when I go out and get really shit-faced on Saturday afternoon, I don't feel as bad because I'm like, at least the first part of the day I did something good and productive.
You're celebrating your good heart.
That's kind of what it is.
I'm a good guy. Tequila, please.
Yes, that's kind of it. It's kind of my whole thing. I just feel so good.
Man, you have a big heart, so make that a double.
Yeah, you're right. So it does make you feel a lot better about all the bad things you do in your life. It's kind of a nice balance. So you can go and sign up right now, not just for Saturday, because that's already taken up, but for future events, go to kvjshow.com. All right, we'll talk to y'all later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.